Welcome back to Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Comcast Business. As you see that aerial shot of Chase Center in Thrive City, where fans are lining up to come see the T-Wolves and the Golden State Warriors. A beautiful day in the Bay. However, the Warriors, they've been struggling here at home, just 19-14 on the season. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games and are looking to avoid their first 4-game losing streak of the season. And they have to do it against a team that's lost 3 games in a row on their own there in Minnesota, losing in L.A., of course, to the Clippers and the Lakers. But the Warriors trying to find their winning ways, Fezzy Fell. They've got to get back on track here. Just find something positive before they hit the road for 6 games.
Yeah, Bonte, 3 games in a row, you're really slipping down that playoff box or play-in box situation. I mean, without Steph Curry, it's been a different story for the Warriors. Leading three-point shooters before his injury. You've had Guy Santos, Draymond Green, Brandon Podziemski, Al Horford, and LJ Cryer. All these guys have had their volumes increase since Steph Curry's injury. And this is Steph and Jimmy Butler. So the Warriors trying to find a new identity, and right now is really about, can they stay within striking distance? The way they can do that is with adding Kristaps Porzingis. Can they get a new identity that can keep them within striking distance so that when Steph comes back, they can actually make a run? Can they get a new identity that can keep them within striking distance so that when Steph comes back, they can actually make a run?
7-14 without Jimmy Butler here to Golden State Warriors. And, of course, without Stephen Curry, they've had their struggles creating shots. And now you're doing it against a team that's seeking to compete for a championship in the Western Conference. So what we saw in that Bulls game, Mully, more of the same. Unbalanced offense, lack of hustle defensively. Bulls crashing the glass here. The Warriors got to get back to the basics.
Yeah, and the Warriors have done some good things. Their assist numbers have been fine. You know, a few games over 30 assists. They've kept their turnovers down. As Festus said, Bonte, they've had a hard time maintaining their level. Get more field goal attempts. And you said some unbalanced offensive attack with too many threes. Tonight with Minnesota, this is different than Chicago and Utah, who didn't protect the rim at all. They've got Gobert. They've got Naz Reid, Jalen McDaniels, some long athletic defenders. So to me, it's going to be reading the next play. And what I mean by that, when they get run off that three-point line, the next play, do you pull up for a nice open 15-foot jump shot? Do you shoot your floater? Or do you get in there and make a play for your teammate? So this is a long athletic team. It's a little different approach tonight than it was against Chicago and Utah.
Well, a lot of bad news when it comes to the Golden State Warriors. They fell below 500 Tuesday night. Sunk to 9th place in the Western Conference. And, of course, on Wednesday, it was announced that Curry will miss another 10 days with the right knee injury. They're calling it runner's knee. And, of course, the Warriors are 5-10 without the chef over the last 15 games. He's going to miss the entire road trip when they hit the road starting on Sunday against the New York Knicks. Here's what Steve Kerr had to say about keeping the roster poised and motivated despite not having their leader in Stephen Curry.
Just honesty and, which make sure they understand that we can still accomplish a lot, but we can't let our current circumstances hurt our spirit and our energy. And if we keep, we're gonna win some games and we're gonna get some people back, and we got a chance to kind of keep things going. And but we just can't get discouraged with what's happening, even though it would be easy to do so. We got to keep fighting.
All right, let's check out the injury report for the Golden State Warriors. DeAnthony Melton is available. We thought he played on the back end of a back-to-back against Chicago. He was out with the adductor strain, but that's good news for the Dubs. Quentin Post is also available, but Moses Moody remains out with that wrist sprain, but he will travel with the Warriors when they hit the road for 6 games on that East Coast swing. Let's go inside the Chase Center for the first time all evening to the great KB, Kerith Burke. She's a 2-time Emmy Award winner. And, of course, Warriors insider,
Monty!
That's right, our Hall of Famer here at NBC Sports Bay Area, Warriors insider Monty Poole here. And KB, the Warriors, they've had their conference. They've got to get going here, but more troubles could be on the way on this East Coast swing.
Well, we keep hanging on to every Steph Curry update, and the last one we got was the 3rd one after the All-Star break. He needs 10 more days, 10 more days, 10 more days. They're running out of time. There are 17 games left, and that kind of opens up a pretty big picture question about should Steph even come back this season. That's something you wrote about, and there are some reasons why, yes.
Yeah. Now, first of all, I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think it's news to people. This season has been broken for almost 2 months, ever since Jimmy Butler went down and Steph went down on 10 days, 11 days later. So you look at where we are now, and Steph wants to play. That's one reason why you want him to play. 2, you got Kristaps Porzingis out there. You'd like to see those two guys on the floor together just to get an idea of how it will look in case they want to make a move and maybe, re-engage KP in the offseason. 3, Steph wants to play with his brother, too.
That's a big one.
And 4, you might think it's delusional that the Warriors want Steph back to make a playoff run. Steph thrives on being told what's delusional. He loves to be the guy shows people that they're wrong, done it before. So I think there are a lot of reasons psychologically and physically why he wants to be back out there. The question is, can he get back out there for the last 8, 10 games? That's going to be the issue.
Yeah, it's still unclear if he's even going to go on the road trip. Even if he went, that doesn't mean he would play. But there is something about Steph's presence, and that's important if he is going to come back this season, to be around the guys.
Yeah. And it's unfair to think that, okay, let's say Steph comes back for the last 10, 11 games. To think that he's going to fix the season,
no,
that's not a fair assessment. It's wrong, and it's putting too much on him. But I think at this point of the season, this season is less important.
Okay.
I think the ceiling for this season is lowered dramatically. We all know that. It's not a secret. But next season, they got to be thinking, okay, what can we do with this team if we get Steph back whole next season? Jimmy comes back midseason. If Porzingis looks good and has a chance to re-sign here. These are all things that are on the table right now and will be until the end of the season.
Yeah, very important to see. You can't see it without Steph because he is the universe around here. And I just think Steph has been out for so long. We haven't heard his voice in a long time. I am looking forward to hearing what he has to say about whether he should sit for the rest of the season or his level of competition and interest in the postseason.
I think I know what he'll say.
I think we do too. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, he will want to play, no doubt about that. But with 17 left to go, the Warriors are sinking here, and we see this road trip. 2 back-to-backs during this swing. New York and Washington, day off. Then you got to play Boston, who's been revitalized with Jason Tatum returning to the lineup. We know about the Pistons, the top dogs in the Eastern Conference. What a season Cade Cunningham has had. They'll visit the Atlanta Hawks and see former teammates Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield. And then against Brooklyn and Washington. So this road trip here, instead of looking ahead to that, try to take care of business tonight to go on the road feeling good about yourselves, Fezzi.
Yeah, absolutely. The game tonight is really important, but we just have to look back so we understand where we came from to appreciate where we are now and look forward after this. So the Warriors start off the season, and with Steph and Jimmy, it seemed like everything was off to a good start. They, defensively, offensively, both of them attacking both the outside Steph Curry and the inside Jimmy Butler. Then Jimmy Butler and Steph, somewhere in between the middle of the season, they figured out, they were like, okay, let's go on this run. And the Warriors were going off on a run. Jimmy gets hurt. Shortly after, whole new roster, a whole new way to play. Without Steph, this whole thing, it's really hard to work. Now you have to play by committee. You have to score by committee. You have to defend extra. You have to win by effort and hustle. The Warriors right now have to get back to that. The defense has slipped over the last couple games, and that's the way you're going to win. Against the Minnesota Timberwolves, last time they played against them, they forced a lot of turnovers, scored from those turnovers. That's how you're going to have to generate points. That's how you're going to have to slow down the other team. And going against the Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards, this is going to be how you move forward till Steph gets back.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're outmanned, you have to really simplify. Because when you're downtown, that's what Steve Kerr's referring to. You don't want to come in with a defeatist attitude to start the game. You know the things you can control them, keep yourself in the game, and try and win it in the fourth quarter. They've done a pretty good job of that. Last 2 games, they could have won those games.
Right.
They made tough mistakes in crucial times. But they've got so many missed games due to injury, and it's their star players. So they are on demand, but the NBA season keeps on rolling.
No doubt, especially up here where Horford will not play on back-to-backs or the back end of back-to-backs. Kristaps Porzingis won't play on the back end of back-to-backs. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happened 1 year ago today. Stephen Curry became the first and only player to reach 4,000 career threes. Let's all smile, everybody. 4,000 and counting, whenever the chef gets back on the floor. Look at that photo right there.